Hello again and welcome back. Thanks to everyone who subscribed to my channel recently. And if you're still thinking about it, just do it because you're missing out. Basically, you're missing out on being part of the free speech gang. Now, what have we here? Another day, another desperate lunge from our esteemed Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. The man who seems to think governing is just a game of how many laws can I sneak through before anyone notices. But this time, this time the Supreme Court's gone and thrown a spanner in his shiny authoritarian socialist works. Apparently, Starmer thought he could quietly slip through a law to sling Northern Ireland rioters in the slammer for a decade. 10 years for kicking off in Ballymena. And why? Well, because of course nothing screams justice like hammering people with draconian sentences for a bit of chaos, right? But the Supreme Court, bless their robe, said, not so fast, mate. You're not turning the UK into a police state on our watch. Now, let's get this straight. I'm not saying the rioters in Northern Ireland are angels, far from it. They're out there chucking petrol bombs, torching cars, smashing windows, hardly the stuff of a quiet Sunday afternoon. But when you dig into the real reasons why it's all happening there, then, how would you react? How would I? But 10 years in prison for what? For getting angry about a couple of teenagers, Romanian speaking no less, accused of trying to assault a local girl. And don't get me started on that. The media is tripping over itself to call it racist thuggery because, of course, everything's racist these days. If you stub your toe on a coffee table, it's probably because the table's got a problem with your ethnicity. But here's the thing, people in Ballymena aren't rioting because they got a PhD in xenophobia. They're rioting because they're fed up, as I've said countless times in recent videos, because they feel like their towns are changing, their kids aren't safe, and nobody in Westminster gives a toss. And Starmer's big solution? Lock him up for a decade. Brilliant. That'll fix everything. This is classic Starmer, isn't it? The man's got the charisma of a damp dishcloth and the instincts of a Soviet bureaucrat. He's not interested in solving problems, he's interested in control. Sneak through a law, crank up the sentences, silence the rabble, job done. Except, whoops, the Supreme Court's gone and reminded him that we still have something resembling a democracy here. For now, anyway. I mean, give him time. He'll probably try to privatise the judiciary and replace it with, I don't know, a chatbot programmed to nod along to his every whim. And let's talk about the sheer cheek of it. Quietly passing a law. Quietly. Like we're all too busy watching Love Island to notice him turning the justice system into his personal playground. This is the same bloke who's been banging on about clarity and order while Ballymena burns, while 32 coppers get injured, trying to keep a lid on the mess. Where's the clarity on that, Keir? Where's the order when you're so busy playing Judge Dredd that you forget to actually listen to why people are so bloody angry? But no, much easier to slap a 10-year sentence on anyone who dares raise their voice than to, maybe address the root causes. Nah, that's too much like hard work, isn't it? You know what gets me, though? It's the relentless hypocrisy. Starmer's out there condemning the mindless violence in Northern Ireland, fair enough. It's ugly stuff, but he's got no problem dishing out his own brand of state-sanctioned violence. 10 years in the cell for throwing a brick? That's not justice. That's vengeance. That's a government saying, sit down, shut up, or we'll crush you. And this is from a Labour government, no less. Whatever happened to the party of the working class, then? These days, Labour's more like the party of the smug metropolitan elite sipping oat milk lattes while telling the plebs to pipe down and accept their lot. Thank God for the Supreme Court, though. That's all I can say. At least someone's got the backbone to stand up to this relentless prick and his out-of-control fantasies. But don't hold your breath for Starmer to learn his lesson, though. He'll be back, scheming another way to tighten the screws, probably with some new law to make it illegal to look at him funny. And when that happens, you can bet he'll try and do it quietly because that's his style. Sneaky, slippery, and about as trustworthy as a fox in a henhouse. So here's my advice, Keir, if you're watching. I doubt it. Instead of trying to lock up half of Northern Ireland, how about you try listening for once? Maybe ask why people are so furious they're setting fire to their own streets. Maybe have a think about why your grand vision of clarity looks an awful lot like chaos to everyone else. Or, just keep being you. Relentless, tone-deaf, and utterly convinced you're the smartest bloke in the room. I'm sure that'll work out just fine. So there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, keep your eyes peeled, because with this lot in charge, you never know what they'll try to sneak past you next. I'll see you at the next one. Roger Trout.